Hi guys, it's Blackie for Shaman's Forge Bushcraft. Today I want to talk about a match safe. Now in the past, as we developed new forms of convenient lighting of fire, quite often we abandon the older technique as being old-fashioned or too much trouble. I'm sure that when we go back in time and do some research, you're going to find that whenever they had the common way was using, flint and rocks, when it was using flint and steel, when it was using bow drills, hand drills, whatever. Those had to be kept dry, those had to be kept protected. When matches were developed, which was simply originally slivers of wood that had been dipped in a chemical, allowed to dry and then ignited by friction, poof, and it set the sliver of wood on fire. This was a huge advancement because prior to this, most of the fire making techniques utilized a spark or produced a coal. A bow drill produces a coal you then had to put into a bird's nest and blow up, and a flint and steel or some apparatus like that produced sparks, which must be caught by a material and turned into a coal, and thus our ferrocerium rods of today are hot enough by modern technology that they can actually ignite easier to ignite materials. But matches produce flame when ignited, and that is very necessary whenever you have marginal materials or conditions where it is not conducive to build a fire with these other methods. So in the past, definitely after the Civil War, on up through really I'd say the 1950s, even 1960s, you see a device called a match safe. And quite often these were not very, elaborate. They were quite often just an old medicine bottle. My grandfather carried a little glass medicine bottle that had a little cork in it, and he carried strike anywhere kitchen matches in it. Now, we've all seen the old movies of someone taking a match and hooking their thumb up on, nail up on top of it and going and firing it up and lighting. That looks cool. Let me tell you from experience, if you ever do that and a little piece of that sticks up under your fingernail and ignites, yeah, you won't want to do that. Plus the fact that when you've got a dry match and everything around you, including you, is sopping wet and you're trying to find something dry to strike on. A match safe makes a lot of sense because it allows me to carry a disposable igniter that I can ignite, shove into the pile, and hold it. And I can carry it in a waterproof fashion. Now, this is a commercial available, like I said. It has a all-weather striking. It has a O-ring seal, a little bit of cotton tinder in the top for, tendering, another striking bar inside, and this one is filled with lifeboat matches. Now, these Strike Anywhere waterproof matches have this big coating back here that once ignited they can be blown out and they'll reignite themselves by this material, much like those little birthday candles that you've seen that you blow it out and it reignites. Same basic idea. Now, in a pack, this is a good emergency fire starting. Yes, today we have a lot of lighters. When I was a kid, lighters were everywhere because most adults smoked, or it seemed like it. And in those days, every time you went to a gas station, a lot of times on Fridays, they would give away these promotional little lighters full of fluid. And I remember as a kid, they were everywhere. Every glove box was full of them. So just about everybody had some source of starting a fire on them. Today, that's not true. Not nearly as many people smoke as they used to or carry fire with them. So for us going into the field, we like to play with our ferrocerium rods, which is a good, reliable way to do fire. But in the survival kit, in your fire kit, you need at least two sources of flame. I carry a lighter and I carry matches. And I carry the matches in a match safe that no matter what, if this gets dunked, I have dry matches. I have a source of flame. And flame is very important when I have marginal material. Now, this is one of the one by Marbles they've had since the early 1900s. I put a piece of orange cord on it. And it's very reliable, but it is not truly waterproof. Up here in the top, there's a rubber seal. And then in here you put your matches with your striker. I carry a striker on it. They say that this is for striking, but in reality, nah. You'll destroy more matches than you'll strike. I just put a striker inside. and make a nice handy little orange where I can see it. I don't want anything that can't be seen, especially in survival gear, matches. But you don't have to go that route. This is one I made up. This is just simply a candy tube that's got a good tight seal on it, and then inside I put and made up a little micro fire kit. There is a small, I don't know if you can see right there, Bic lighter in there, and then I have several forms of matches and a striker. Along the outside of it, I've added some duct tape, and usually I'll have a piece of duct tape goes over the top to keep this nice and secure and tight. This gives me a micro fire kit because I have matches that produce flame, I have a lighter that produces flame, I have it in a watertight container so that if I get dunked in the creek, I have flame producing right now fire ability. And I have duct tape for many other uses, plus duct tape makes a pretty good tinder. So with these three components, that little small fire kit right there, I have most of my needs taken care of. So, to recap, a match safe is actually a pretty good idea. Carrying matches is a pretty good idea. There's going to be times when a match actually has an advantage over a lighter. I know that's going to sound, oh yeah, Blackie, prove it. It does. The advantage of that match is I can take it and shove it into something and let go of it. And it'll keep, like, take the wind and protect it. A lighter requires at least one hand to hold the button. And so the ability to strike, stick, and do my two hands as wind vanes can sometimes, in certain conditions, be a distinct advantage. I hope this gives you some ideas, guys. Make you up a little micro, kit. Try it out. Work with it exclusively. Add, subtract until you get to where you feel confident that, yeah, this is what I want to do. And then utilize that for a little bit. That's the type of kit you want to throw in your glove box or into your little small micro pouch that you carry on you. A lighter is always going to be the fastest source of flame. Match is always going to be the second fastest. And then third, we go into our ferrocerium rods and on into our skill level fire starting. Have a great day, guys. I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge Bushcraft, wishing you safe journeys. Have fun, guys.